APJ Abdul Kalam, born 15 October 1931, Rameswaram, India, died July 27, 2015, Shillong, was an Indian scientist and politician who played a leading role in the development of India's missile and nuclear weapons programs. He was President of India from 2002 to 2007. His scientific achievements and popularity gained him the epithets Missile Man and People's President. Kalam was born in a town in Tamil Nadu state to a fishing boat owner from a once wealthy family. The youngest of 5 siblings, Kalam persevered with his education despite his impoverished circumstances. He earned a degree in aeronautical engineering from the Madras Institute of Technology and in 1958 joined the Defence Research and Development Organisation, DRDO. In 1969 he moved to the Indian Space Research Organisation, ISRO, where he was project director of the SLV-3, the first satellite launch vehicle that was both designed and produced in India. In 1980 SLV-3 successfully released a satellite called Rohini into near-Earth orbit, taking India's space program to the international stage. Kalam oversaw further development of launch vehicle technologies at ISRO, including the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. Upon returning to civilian life, Kalam remained committed to using science and technology to transform India into a developed country, and he served as a lecturer at a number of universities. He was a visiting professor at several campuses of the Indian Institute of Management and the founding chancellor of the Indian Institute of Space Science and Technology, Thiruvananthapuram. He had great success in connecting with children and made it a personal mission to meet, interact with, and inspire young minds. On 27 July 2015, Kalam collapsed while delivering a lecture at the Indian Institute of Management Shillong and was pronounced dead from cardiac arrest soon afterward. Get unlimited access. Try Britannica Premium for free and discover more. Kalam wrote several books, including an autobiography, Wings of Fire, 1999, and a book titled Ignited Minds, 2002. Among his numerous awards were 3 of the country's highest honors, the Padma Bhushan, 1981, the Padma Vibhushan, 1990, and the Bharat Ratna, 1997. A number of roads, buildings, and institutions are named for Kalam. In 2015, the name of a missile test site in Odisha state was changed from Wheeler Island to Abdul Kalam Island. In 2017, a new species of bacterium found in the International Space Station was named Solibacillus calmi in his honor. After graduating from the Madras Institute of Technology in 1960, Kalam became a member of the Defence Research Development Service and joined the Aeronautical Development Establishment of the Defence Research and Development Organisation, DRDO, as a scientist. During his early career, he was involved in the design of small hovercraft and remained unconvinced by his choice of a job at DRDO. Later, he joined the Indian National Committee for Space Research, working under renowned space scientist Vikram Sarabhai. He was interviewed and recruited into Indian Space Research Organisation, ISRO, by H.G. S. Murthy, the first director of the Thumba Equatorial Rocket Launching Station. In 1969, Kalam transferred to ISRO where he became the project director of India's first satellite launch vehicle, SLV, which successfully deployed the Rohini satellite in near-Earth orbit in July 1980. He had earlier started work on an expandable rocket project independently at DRDO in 1965. In 1969, Kalam received the approval from the Government of India to expand the program to include more engineers. 19 in 1963-64, he visited NASA's Langley Research Center in Hampton, Goddard Space Flight Center in Greenbelt, and Wallops Flight Facility. 23 since the late 1970s, Kalam was part of the effort to develop the SLV-13 and Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle (PSLV), both of which were successful. In May 1974, Kalam was invited by Raja Ramanna to witness the country's first nuclear test, smiling Buddha as the representative of Terminal Ballistics Research Laboratory, even though he was officially not part of the project. In the 1970s, Kalam directed two projects, Project Devil and Project Valiant, which sought to develop ballistic missiles using the technology from the successful SLV program. Despite the disapproval of the Union Cabinet, then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi allotted funds for these aerospace projects under Kalam's directorship through her discretionary powers. Kalam also played a major role in convincing the cabinet to conceal the true nature of these classified projects. His research and leadership brought him recognition in the 1980s, which prompted the government to initiate an advanced missile program under his directorship. Kalam worked with metallurgist V.S.R. Arunachalam, who was then scientific advisor to the defense minister, on the suggestion by the then Defence Minister R. Venkataraman on the simultaneous development of a quiver of missiles instead of taking planned missiles one after another. Venkataraman was instrumental in getting the cabinet approval for allocating 3.88 billion rupees, equivalent to 66 billion rupees or $780 million in 2023. For the project titled Integrated Guided Missile Development Program, IGMDP, and appointed Kalam as its chief executive. Kalam played a major role in the development of missiles, including Agni, an intermediate-range ballistic missile, and Prithvi, the tactical surface-to-surface missile. Having rejoined DRDO in 1982, Kalam planned the Integrated Guided Missile Development Program, which produced a number of successful missiles. Among them was Agni, India's first intermediate-range ballistic missile, which incorporated aspects of the SLV-3. It was first launched in 1989. Another success was the surface-to-surface tactical missile Prithvi. From 1992 to 1999, Kalam was scientific advisor to India's defense minister, and he later served as principal scientific advisor 1999 to 2001 to the government, with the rank of cabinet minister. During this period, he played a key role in the government's weaponization of missile systems, giving India nuclear capabilities. In 1998, he was one of the chief coordinators of the Pokhran-II series of nuclear tests, in which 5 bombs were detonated at a test range in the town of Pokhran, Rajasthan state. His prominent role in the country's nuclear weapons tests solidified India as a nuclear power and established Kalam as a national hero, although the tests caused great concern in the international community. In 1998, Kalam put forward a country-wide plan called Technology Vision 2020, which he described as a roadmap for transforming India from a less developed society to a developed one in 20 years. Among other measures, the plan called for increasing agricultural productivity, emphasizing technology as a vehicle for economic growth, and for widening access to health care and education. Having rejoined DRDO in 1982, Kalam planned the Integrated Guided Missile Development Program, which produced a number of successful missiles. Among them was Agni, India's first intermediate-range ballistic missile, which incorporated aspects of the SLV-3. It was first launched in 1989. Another success was the surface-to-surface tactical missile Prithvi. He joined the Indian space program and played a key role in developing India's first satellite launch vehicle, SLV-3. He also contributed to India's missile development program, earning him the nickname Missile Man of India. Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, Indian Space Agency, founded in 1969 to develop an independent Indian space program. Its headquarters are in Bengaluru, formerly Bangalore, Karnataka. ISRO's chief executive is also chair of the Indian government's Space Commission and the secretary of the Department of Space. The ISRO operates through a countrywide network of centers. Sensors and payloads are developed at the Space Applications Center in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. Satellites are designed, developed, assembled, and tested at the U.R. Rao Satellite Center, formerly the ISRO Satellite Center, in Bengaluru. Launch vehicles are developed at the Vikram Sarabhai Space Center in Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala. Launches take place at the Satish Dhawan Space Center on Sriharikota Island, Andhra Pradesh. The master control facilities for geostationary satellite station keeping are located at Hassan, Karnataka, and Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. Reception and processing facilities for remote sensing data are at the National Remote Sensing Center in Hyderabad, Telangana. ISRO's commercial arm is Antriksh Corporation, which has its headquarters in Bengaluru. On 27 July 2015, Kalam travelled to Shillong to deliver a lecture on creating a livable planet Earth at IIM Shillong. While climbing a flight of stairs, he experienced some discomfort but was able to enter the auditorium after a brief rest. 91-92 at around शाम के 6:35 IST. After 5 minutes into his lecture, he collapsed. 93 He was rushed to the nearby Bethani hospital in a critical condition, and upon arrival, he lacked a pulse or any other signs of life. Despite being placed in the intensive care unit, he was confirmed dead of a sudden cardiac arrest at 7:45 p.m. 94-95. His purported last words to his aide Srijanpal Singh were, "Funny guy. Are you doing well?" Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam Memorial at Rameswaram. Following his death, the people of India paid tributes on social media. 97 The Government of India declared a 7-day state mourning period as a mark of respect. 98 Various leaders from India and abroad condoled the death of Kalam. 99 101 Kalam's body was flown to New Delhi on the morning of 28 July, where dignitaries including then President, Vice President, and Prime Minister paid their last respects. 102 His body was placed in his Delhi residence for public viewing. 103 On 29 July, his body was flown to the town of Mandapam via Madurai and was carried towards his hometown of Rameswaram by road. His body was displayed in an open area to allow the public to pay their final respects until 8 p.m. that evening. 104 105 106 On 30 July 2015, following an Islamic burial prayer performed by the local Imam, 107, he was laid to rest at Rameswaram's Pakir ground with full state honours, with over 3,50,000 people in attendance. 108 109 Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam Memorial was built in memory of Kalam by the DRDO in Pakir in Rameswaram. 110 It was inaugurated by then Prime Minister Narendra Modi in July 2017. The memorial displays replicas of rockets and missiles which Kalam had worked with, and various acrylic paintings about his life. There is a large statue of Kalam in the entrance showing him playing the veena, and 2 other smaller statues in sitting and standing posture respectively. Thanks guys for watching the video. Please like, comment, share and subscribe Indian Motivation for this type of videos.